안녕하세요. 매일매일 운동하기를 실천하고 있는 동탄 왕콩입니다. 어제도 퇴근하고 낮잠을 잤고, 오늘도 퇴근하고 낮잠을 잤습니다. 1시간에서 1시간 10분 정도 잤는데, 너무 좋아. 와, 다행히 어제는 잠을 잘 잤어요. 오늘도 잠을 잘 잘 것 같아요. 너무 좋아요. 낮잠을 자니까, 너무 좋네요. 왜 그동안 왜 이렇게 견디고 참고 이랬는지 모르겠습니다. 그냥 졸리면 자는 게 맞는 것 같습니다. 낮잠 자니까 너무 좋아요. 오늘 운동을 해야 되는데, 일단, 오늘 피를 뽑았습니다. 오늘 건강검진이 있어서 제가 3개월에 한 번씩 피를 뽑아서 검사를 받습니다. 그래서 오늘도 피를 뽑았기 때문에 팔 운동은 안 할 거고요. 스쿼트만 할 겁니다. 영상 키기 전에 스트레칭 먼저 했고요. 바로 스쿼트 하겠습니다. 목표는 20개씩 5세트 100개를 하는 건데, 일단 해봐야죠 뭐. 최대한 많이 하도록 하겠습니다. 지금 운동할 때 CNN이죠.
Log on and get connected with all of the latest developments at your fingertips. CNN Partner Hotels, connected to your world.
I've been a war correspondent for more than 10 years, and every conflict that you can think of, I have never seen anything like this. This is happening right here, right now. Life is dangerous. There are snipers all around. Got to do justice to the storm. How many hours have you been on the boat? You can't not feel some level of personal impact.
I'm Matthew Chance in London. This is CNN.
morning, Texans are waking up to their fourth day of mass power outages related to that deadly winter storm. The Dallas Mavericks coach says this is not the time to play the game. Andy Scholes has this morning's Bleacher Report. Andy, you got a lot of family in Texas. Everyone okay?
Well, Christine, I tell you, the situation's not good there right now. You know, my parents are older. My dad's 80. My mom's in her 70s. They've had power for like 6 hours after the past 48 hours. It's getting really cold in their house. I mean, the water pressure is also not good. Many of my friends are dealing with the same thing. And I know a lot of people have been going to other people's houses who do have power, only for that person to then lose power. Many of my friends telling me this is way worse than any of the hurricanes they dealt with just because of how cold it is. And they never thought that they'd be dealing with something like this in the state of Texas. Now, of course, the sports world also being impacted by what's going on there. More than a dozen games have been postponed this week due to the extreme weather and power outages, including last night's scheduled game between the Mavericks and the Pistons. Mavs coach Rick Carlisle says the focus right now should be on people helping each other.
I don't like the public finger pointing that's going on with regard to the energy situation. You know, this should be about solutions and not blame. To me, the important thing is to work through all of it. You know, always hoping for the best, but, you know, being ready for more surprises.
All right, huge match at the Australian Open late last night. About 7,500 fans back in attendance for the first time in 5 days to see the semifinal showdown between Serena Williams and Naomi Osaka. This one, all Osaka, the three-time Grand Slam winner, blowing away Serena, winning in straight sets, improving to 3-1 against her childhood hero. She was relishing every moment.
I don't know if there's any little kids out here today, but I was a little kid watching her play, and just to be on the court playing against her for me is a dream.
Now, here's moments that people are talking about this morning. Serena walking off the court, waving to the crowd, clearly emotional. Then she's going to put her hands over her heart, leaving many to wonder what the future is for the 23-time Grand Slam winner. She's just one shy of tying the all-time record. And after the match, Serena was asked, that was her farewell to the Aussie Open.
I don't know. If I ever say farewell, I wouldn't tell anyone. So.
It was just one of those bad days at the office.
I don't know. I'm done.
Yeah, Laura Serena, 39 years old now. Was really emotional there. Who knows if that was the last
She
Australian Open
can't
for
be
her.
done. I think she was just touched by the moment.
We'll wait and see.
All right, Andy, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right, still ahead. The power is out, the water is off, the heat is spotty, a week of agony for millions in Texas, and more harsh weather is on the way.
아이고.
Digital tour guides, fully personalized itineraries, and vlogging. Travel is becoming digitized, and Dubai-based tech entrepreneur Fabian Dagestein is seeing a gap in the market.
The next big idea in the travel industry is autonomous travel.
He's developed Street Life, an app that allows users to create their entire trip on their phones. Users can watch and choose the places they want to visit, creating a customized itinerary before starting their physical journey.
You have to imagine it like a TikTok for travel, where you can swipe up and down between different tours, bookmark the places you like, create your own tours, and book Kareems and Ubers.
Combining technology with physical travel, Dagestein's Street Life is aiming to become the digital go-to for autonomous, personalized, and seamless travel.
On the next Living Golf, with the sport's popularity on the rise, learn from Topgolf's CEO on how they're attracting a new audience.
We know that 51% of the people who come to the Topgolf venues across the world are non-golfers.
And hear from one of the stars of the women's game, Danielle Kang.
Moments in my life that I flash back on and think that was pretty special.
Join me, Shane O'Donoghue, on this month's Living Golf.
Saturday on CNN, in association with Golf Saudi.
이 운동이 끝나면 영어 공부를 하겠습니다. 영어 공부 1시간 하고 잠을 자도록 할게요. 나달이라고 아시죠? 테니스 선수 43번째? 43세라고 제가 잘 봤는데.
My name is Jason Boswell, and I'm an underwater camera operator and technical diver based in Cape Town, South Africa. I normally get to spend my days out in False Bay, getting to film all the amazing wildlife that lives in this incredible part of the world. Owing to the current situation, the beaches here have been closed, and therefore access to the ocean is severely restricted, which means that I now spend my days on the deck using a pair of binoculars to look out longingly towards the ocean. I've been lucky enough to see massive pods of dolphins, maybe 500 or 600 strong. There's seals playing in the kelp forest. There's loads of bird life. Whilst it's been fun being dry docked on my deck and getting to look out on the ocean and see things from a bit of a different perspective, I'm really looking forward to the day that things normalize and you can get back out there.
Want a daily dose of Fareed and his team? Now you can get it with Fareed's Global Briefing, the newsletter that gives you the best insight and analysis on global affairs. Go to cnn.com/Fareed to sign up.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Early Start. I'm Laura Jarrett. And I'm Christine Romans. Just about 32 minutes past the hour on this Thursday morning. Day 4 of a humanitarian catastrophe unfolding in Texas. Millions of people waking up to brutal conditions. No power, no water. In some places, no heat. Power officials were asked for the best and worst case scenarios.
The best case at this point is that either today or tomorrow, we're able to at least get back down to the point where all the consumers are experiencing outages that are no longer than, say, 30 minutes to an hour at a time.
So that was the best case. He did not offer up a worst case.
Several hospitals forced to move patients because of low water pressure. Power outages knocked out the generators that keep the pressure up, and burst pipes, making it all worse. Those burst pipes causing water damage in homes across the state. Residents just trying to salvage what they can.
First part of the wall buckled, which was right up over here. Right here. And then a few minutes later, we were looking at the damage that it claimed. There's another piece right there fell.
One family southeast of Dallas, well, their ceiling collapsed after frozen pipes burst. They say they have enough gas to power a generator for one more day. After that, the homeowner tells CNN she will, quote, rely on a full bottle of tequila and some prayer candles. The disaster also affecting COVID vaccinations nationwide. Delays in at least 30 states as the weather holds up shipments through distribution hubs in Memphis and Louisville.
Independence and deregulation of the power grid in Texas led to lower energy prices in good times, but it also led to underinvestment that contributed to all of this. The governor says every source of power has been compromised. Now his predecessor, Rick Perry, the former U.S. Energy Secretary, get this, he claims he and his fellow Texans are fine with the outages if it keeps the feds away from the state's power grid. There's a hint of good news. The power outages dropping from 3 million customers yesterday, now down to about 700,000 in Texas this morning. But remember, each customer is actually several people, a business or a household. So millions are still in the dark.
조금만 쉬다가
Those people joining us now by phone.
스쿼트 마지막 20개만 더 하고 끝내겠습니다.
At his home in Austin during the storm.
텍사스는
Bryce, thank you so much for jumping on the phone with us, given everything you're going through. I've got Christine Romans here with me too. We know you have a wife, you have 2 kids. They're young, 4 and 1 years old. Your family lost power, so you drove 6 hours to Dallas to be with your mom. I can't even imagine how that trip went. How is your family holding up right now?
Thank you for having me. We're a little shooken up, a little anxious about what's going to happen. I know the power's still off at our house. starting to get worried about the pipes. So we're still a little anxious and worried, just trying to make it through. But just happy right now that we actually have power, somebody that we know has power.
Bryce, your instinct to get to mom, to go to grandma with the two little kids is, we relate. We really relate because that is tough to be in those kind of conditions with two small children. I know that you're originally from Iowa, so you know how to drive those icy roads. But describe what's happening in your community right now. How are your neighbors coping? What are people doing? I mean, this is not normal at all for Texas.
No, ma'am. Our neighbors, they've never seen anything like this in 50 years. Everybody that we know down there, they've been boiling water on stoves, trying to air out their house to keep out carbon monoxide poisoning. When we woke up on Tuesday morning about 4 o'clock and went out to the car, all of our neighbors were outside in their cars, and nobody around us was selling gas. So everybody's been trying to stay warm somehow.
So you said no one's selling gas. We're also seeing images of these long lines at grocery stores, the shelves just basically bare. Have you been able to get out even to the store? How are you getting groceries?
We actually ventured out that Tuesday morning looking at about 30-mile radius, and we even went larger to a 50-mile radius, and there was even a convenience store open selling gas. So these images were kind of frustrating to us because we didn't know